We are on episode 92 of SEO Talk Spaces, and I welcome back everyone who is here with us and who is probably going to listen to us on a replay. And this is Malhar, the co host of the Spaces, and along with me, I have Parth and Sahin has also joined us today and starting to be the co host of SEO Talk. So glad to have you, Sahin. And like Parth mentioned, it's an interesting topic because last 2 years we have seen Reddit being part of any of the CRPs, right? So, what most of the things that you search, you will probably see uh, results from Reddit coming up. Uh, is it Reddit's visibility that is skyrocketing? Is it Google's algorithm which is favoring Reddit? Initially, we thought it might be a glitch, but a glitch cannot be there for 2 years. So let us figure what it is and how it is happening on today's SEO talk, which is about Reddit's SEO search, smart strategy, or Google's loophole. All right, let's get started. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I would also like, as Malhar mentioned, like, welcome Sahin to the SEO Talk clan. Thanks for showing your interest to join the core team and volunteer for a couple of community efforts. So excited to have you on board and look forward to working together.
Hi Parth, hi Malhar. Thank you for the warm welcome. Hello.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Our pleasure. So let's get started, and I'm rolling out with the first question. So if you have any thoughts, let us get started. So the first question, which is more on what we have been seeing off late, or I can't even say off late, it has been almost 2 years now. But do you also notice Reddit threads outranking your sites or competitors? If you have been seeing such kind of change, if you can just share what niche it is happening, we will be able to gather some more information on that. But
Yeah, I think so. Reddit started showing up. If we talk about 2023, it started showing up for personal finance related queries, kind of mental health related queries, and then it kind of extrapolated to product reviews, coding related queries. It started showing up. So it's even showing up for very competitive terms like best VPN, weight loss tips, and whatnot. So earlier, the niche bloggers would used to rank for a lot of top of the funnel queries, but I think so Reddit has a Google core algorithm updates and the helpful content update, and B, Reddit has created like havoc for bloggers, and almost 90-95% of the revenue for all the individual bloggers have dropped. So yep, thanks but not thanks to Reddit, but yeah.
which is fantastic. But is there again, say we go little deeper on certain niche? Uh, do you see that kind of stuff happening? That okay for a say some of the examples that you mentioned, or beyond that, have you seen certain niches behaving or rather coming up more frequently compared to some niches not showing up at all?
um so I think so it's showing across all the industries. I don't have a tally of probably what niches are showing up lesser comparatively, but yeah, uh, personal finance, mental health, coding, kind of SaaS product reviews and stuff like that. Those are showing up quite higher compared to the rest of the ones.
No, fair, because say coming also from a tech based organization, right? So even when I look at it, say from a specific new generation or next generation technology, I do frequently see Reddit coming up, but for some of the older ones, I still see some blog contents or content from respective brands coming up. But I guess that's a very different example, and limited to a certain niche. So I'll go to the next question, or if Sahin also has a different take, Sahin, if you want to just share your thought on the first question.
No, no, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So the second question is based on this because on SERPs, as you see Reddit, say overtaking other uh, providers or other sites. Do you think it is because of the trust and understanding of the user intent, or do you think there is some license deal or some deal between Google and Reddit which we probably are not aware of? Very controversial, but yeah, happy to take it.
Yeah, I think so. There was a statement from one of the Google search advocate search legend that the queries with UGC have high engagement, and that is what they have observed. They have not transparently shared any data out there, but that is what their statement was. So the UGC queries, the content kind of draws a lot of attention and engagement, and that's why they probably published a statement that it's quite natural for us to show and kind of push platforms like Reddit. But I think so it's a mix of both the worlds. For sure, their $60 million data licensing deal is for sure the catalyst for all of this. Uh, so it seems that trust and scale both seem to be the real drivers.
Okay, Sahin, your thought?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
actually, I'm on the bus, so I'm traveling basically. So this
Ah,
my background noise is
no, no problem, no problem, man.
yeah.
That is
So yeah.
fine. Okay, then in that case, I'll move to the next one, and in say talking about, or rather going little deeper into it. And this is typically if you are from the brand side or even from an agency side managing a brand, uh, should SEO start creating Reddit content intentionally for ensuring you get visibility on SERP? Uh, would that be a good strategy? Because and the reason I am asking this is we saw what happened at Quora. A lot of people had started putting stuff on Quora for the sake of getting more visibility, easy discoverability, etc. Do you think there should be a similar strategy for Reddit?
I would say Reddit is a complex community driven platform, and it has strict rules and guidelines, and their moderators are very very strict. So if we specifically look at it, if the purpose is like value first content and posting authenticate and useful content on very specific and relevant subreddits can help achieve CRP visibility. But if the moderators find anything fishy, kind of in the SEO manipulation way, uh, it's going to go down. So because of the strict policies, I think so it's not as easy to manipulate. Like I would rate it like Quora was the easiest to manipulate, and then probably Wikipedia, and I think so Reddit is the toughest.
Yes, exactly. Because I have often seen, so see, even say as simple as sharing some links or even comments which are, say, little more salesy than it should be. Often Reddit moderators have kind of deleted those kind of content. So it's taking a chance for your respective content, and even if you're putting together something, it has to be much more informative than you could have probably posted somewhere else, right? Uh, because the guidelines, like Parth mentioned, are pretty stringent. The moderators are often unforgiving, right? And that has been the case, and probably that is the reason it is able to maintain a certain level of quality. But Parth, again, going back, if can I start my own say subreddit, right, based on a topic, even if that topic is existing probably on Reddit? I have not checked such thing happening, but again, if you have a knowledge about it, or if someone else is a Wikipedia expert, sorry, not Wikipedia, but a Reddit expert, probably can share their thought.
I think so. Having Reddit is any which ways very helpful for SEO. Not like I'm not speaking about recent 2 years where the SERP is flooded with Reddit links, but even before that, there are a lot of quality and high intent people who keep on scrolling Reddit and particular subreddits for a lot of content ideas, a lot of oral ideas. So when people are passionate about a particular topic, whether it's the guy or girl is like a sneakerhead or something like that, you'll find the most nuanced answers and queries kind of on the subreddit. So, but it's not as easy. But whenever you start, like there's always it's going to be day zero or day one for you. So never too late. We can get started on Reddit and build authentic profile, irrespective of the fact that the data licensing deal works out, or probably it kind of terminates after a year or two. That's not uh, that's not an influencing factor here.
No, fair, very fair. So that brings to me to the next question in terms of uh, because of the way the results from Reddit kind of aligns to user intent, and we are assuming that okay, that it aligns to user intent and it is able to there is a lot more trust. But what happens to, say, some of the publishers? Because I'm sure a lot of publishers would have lost their traffic because their results are not getting shown at this point of time.
So Reddit has a lot of upper hand. So if we talk about their overall domain, like they have high engagement on their website, which Google prefers, because rather than understanding the content, like Google's overall algorithm has more capabilities to understand the engagement rate. So higher engagement, strong domain authority, and the keyword, it does have a strong natural keyword relevance, like if I would term it natural keyword relevance, long tail queries and stuff. So all of this makes it a threat for the publishers and affiliates. So what happens is it cannibalizes all the high intent queries through which the affiliates used to drive traffic to their website, etc. Probably using long tail queries as well. So for sure, smaller publishers not having enough domain authority and brand authority are losing ground, uh, competing with Reddit.
Okay, but so what happens to those publishers? How I think we have talked about this little while earlier also. Say smaller publishers, etc., is finding it very challenging because Reddit, it's either Reddit or an AI overview which is taking over their places. So how does someone who probably is just starting to blog, someone who probably is starting with an affiliate kind of intent, right? Uh, is there a is there still a future for those kind of uh, say revenue stream which used to exist earlier?
I don't think so. It's very, very difficult since the September 2023 SEO update. Uh, and since all of this has happened, some of the smarter folks out there have found out a way which is parasite SEO, like publishing affiliate content on, and up to an extent, like they have abused websites, whether you look at Outlook India or other websites. So they found out their own way to kind of continue getting those revenue from their affiliate links. But still, it's a third party website and tool. Like you pay for the fuel and you get the mileage. That's how it goes. But if like until they had the leverage of having their own property and kind of playing around with a lot of content pieces, probably very detailed reviews and programmatic SEO approach and whatnot. But because of like brand and domain authority coming into the picture, and with this particular deal with Reddit, 95% of the affiliate bloggers who are earning upwards of $10,000 a month, I don't want to name them, but three, four folks reached out to me for a full time, like they're looking for a full time job. Like that's how difficult things are for them, because they're if their 95% revenue has dropped, like doesn't make sense for them to run like 30, 40, 50 websites and play around with a lot of gray hat or probably other SEO tactics to rank.
Okay, so Reddit just benefits by being Reddit, is it?
Oh yes. Oh yes, yeah.
No, but if you had to go a little further on the same stuff and say, and when I say Reddit being Reddit, right, is it because uh say the benefit it is getting from Google algorithms, or uh, say few folks who already know how to leverage Reddit or optimize for Reddit? What do you think? Is it something that Google is being little favorable, or or some SEO guys being little more intelligent?
I think so. There was this uh the ranking factors leaked by Google, and like it was like very debatable topic, that people are saying like now everything is open, like you can rank, and we all like those were just the ingredients. Google never shared their recipe. But having said all of that, like the people who wanted to rank or wanted to drive referral traffic through Reddit also, they found out their own way of finding popular Reddit threads, which have been driving traffic for a long period of time and getting a good engagement. They reached out to those folks who had posted their answers and were evergreen and were ranking, and paid them and kind of tried to manipulate their answers to promote their particular brand. But again, it's like very limited opportunity out there. So yeah, for sure, from the leaked ingredients, like the ranking leaks, there were some evidences found that Google is pushing for forums. There was no specific mention of Reddit, but Google is specifically pushing UGC forums. So there's no black and white answer here, but yeah, for sure, with the licensing deal, like Google is under the influence of Reddit for sure.
All right. I know we are getting into a little controversial zone with that. Uh, but sorry about it. But again, so I'll go a little deeper on this in terms of the point that I mentioned of some folks being able to understand Reddit and also say using Reddit as a rank first or uh, some kind of indexing tactic around or leveraging Reddit. Uh, what do you think? Is that something people are doing, and is it really working?
Um, yes, so there are smarter SEO folks out there who leverage Reddit for SEO responsibly. Um, so just to take reference, like Reddit can be used as an extension of on-page research, like whether you're doing your keyword research or finding those uh, content gaps, uh, doing journey mapping or understanding your audience. Um, so all of these insights can be like kind of found on Reddit's Reddit threads and subreddits and all of that. So and it also helps to understand not only helps to understand keywords but also helps to understand the search intent which is tied to those keywords. So for sure, Reddit is helping in one way or the other way. It totally depends on whether it's a long term strategy or if it's a short term tactic that an SEO professional is looking for.
Okay. So I don't know if Kayur, Athor, or Shreyas, if anyone wants to answer some of the questions. I think I have forwarded you the invite to speak. So feel free to come on the stage, either share a question or probably if you're keen to answer or if you have a certain observation. Because Reddit, the entire Reddit thing is, I can't even say it is pretty new because we have been seeing that happening for more than a year now, so it is not something which has just come up. Few of you might also be trying to find out ways on how to leverage Reddit. So if you have found some kind of strategy around it, and if you are keen to share, we'll be glad to hear that. And so to join it, the I have already shared the invite for you guys. So I'll go next on it in terms of the questions, and this kind of again borderlines on the Reddit thing all only, and it's about, so what's the fine line between contributing to Reddit versus marketing on Reddit without getting banned?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think so. Like I totally agree from the questions. Like there's a very fine line. Um, so the approach I recommended to my SEO clients back in the day, like 4 or 5 years ago, when there was Reddit was not much kind of into the picture. Like it was, but not as it is today. So I think so. The strategy I gave it to my clients for Quora is kind of similar to Reddit as well. So first 50 answers, or probably if you have the bandwidth and resources, first 100 answers should be just value addition. Like should not ever treat or like add any external links in any of the answers. That helps build the authority of that particular profile on whatever is the platform, whether it's Quora. And then from next set of 10 answers you add one link. So 101 to 110, you add one link, and you do that for 5 sets. After 150, you increase, like every 5 answers you add one link, and then probably you maintain that. So it's a clear relation that the number of answers and the number of questions you answer and add value should be more than the number of answers you get a link form. So for Reddit specifically, if we talk in Reddit's terminology, like Reddit has a clear thing. Reddit wants participation, not promotion. And for that, like, we need to build karma, avoid links, and add value first. So these are the things we, and as an SEO, we should treat it like community building, not link building.
That was a smart one, and yes, absolutely, it should not never be used for, or rather used as a link building strategy. It has to be, say, the thought leadership part of it, or building your own authority, yeah, around it. And LinkedIn is pretty complicated, do you think? Because again, probably it's my generation which is thinking so. Your generation might not be thinking like that. But do you also find that Reddit is little complicated compared to Quora, or it's not as easy as what Quora or few other platforms were?
Um, I would refer to the gym analogy. Like, if you go to gym alone, like, you'll quit in a week or a month. So you need a partner, or you need yeah, a friend or a colleague. So Reddit is very lonely. Like, if you go there, so there should be some competition, some benchmarks, some playbook that you follow. So if there are two folks exploring the platform and kind of having a healthy competition in two different industries, there's a lot of learning, a lot of exchanging of ideas, and it's a journey of like 3 months building your profile on Reddit, and eventually, so yeah, competition helps. A healthy competition helps for sure. um yeah, that is what I think.
No, fair. And what I also think, right, is in terms of the, and this is again an open-ended question, because what we have also seen is, or probably see right now, is Google favoring lot of user-generated content. Right, it does not really matter whether it is relevant or not relevant to a certain extent, but uh, if it is user generated content and it satisfies a certain intent, uh, it will still show up on SERP, unlike little earlier where you had to write, say, something very authoritative to get ranked. Do you see that kind of stuff happening?
oh yes, yeah. As as I mentioned in a couple of second or third question, uh like, there were folks who reached out to particular owners of subreddits and particular threads, to, like, they negotiated a deal, they paid them, and kind of, because they had a very long running 3 years old thread, 4 years old thread, like, you pay them and it's up to their this thing, that whether they agree to that and kind of manipulate their answer. But obviously they also need to make sure that they are being loyal to the audience who have been kind of finding answers. So it's a it again boils down to uh, the authenticity part of thing. Like, it should be relevant to the audience who is searching for those particular questions. But yeah, there are ways to play around, and there's a whole black market of Reddit subthreads going on, where you can reach out, pay, and, like, people are selling those services as well. Not sure how successfully they are running, but yeah, there are people in some niche Facebook groups and Fiverr and those stuff.
Oh, fantastic. So should brands really have an official Reddit profile?
I think so. There are two ways to approach it. Rather than having their own profile, I would recommend brands to have their marketing team or their set of 2 to 5 employees being brand advocates on subreddits without, like, they should seem like an individual who is enthusiast about a particular for example, if it's travel, like let's take example of travel. So they eventually answering in a very storytelling nature, and eventually keep on plugging the brand, being an evangelist or brand advocates. That is what I would recommend, rather than creating a company page or because that would look very professional and promotional on Reddit. Yep. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. You are. So
Yeah. Okay. No worries, no worries. I think so. A couple of new folks have joined in. Hi, Isha. Hi, Ashwini. Welcome to episode 92. And think so. You folks have joined halfway, but the topic is quite interesting, and you can jump on the bandwagon right away and share your thoughts. Or if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them our way.
all right. I've sent invite to a couple of folks. So if, yeah, if you can join on the panel, it will be good. Much appreciated. And I'll go back to see the same thread in terms of, and this is something based on my experience with Reddit is, see, most of the users kind of hide behind a particular username, etc., and it's most likely, or they are probably 95% of the time, I have seen that they don't have a real name coming there. And in that case, if business wants to drive some kind of engagement, like you mentioned, should they appoint some of their own stakeholders as spokespersons, or probably have their own a branded Reddit handle to be managed by someone, say within a social media team or an SEO team? Uh, do you think that could probably a strategy from a brand's point of view?
Yeah, that's the way to go. I think so. Young workforce or Gen Z folks who are very vocal and extrovert and good at storytelling should be incentivized to stay active on Reddit in their organization. So that's the best way to like build brand advocates and kind of evangelists for those particular brands.
Cool. And again, I'll go on a similar line, right? So, like taking a Google's perspective or in a search engine's perspective. So, and something that we touched upon a couple of questions back was uh, Google valuing conversational content more than just looking at authority. So, is it conversational and social both, or just conversational? Any thought? Because when I say social, it means that someone is probably responding and it's becoming, say, viral to an extent, right? So is that getting valued more compared to someone just deep diving on a topic and saying, okay, I know this content or I know this information inside out?
Yeah, it's the experience and it's the nuances which no one can find on brand websites or YouTube content or Instagram content. Like those are like a mix of customer support queries, a mix of product feedback, mix of renting and venting from uh, the power users of those particular brands. And to understand the history and kind of how the brand, a particular brand evolved. uh, so like, I'll go back to the sneaker example. Like, a guy or a girl who is uh, passionate about sneakers or is a sneakerhead would get all the information about sneakers at one place, whether it's uh, the like the resale sneakers market, or how has been the strategy by Nike and Adidas and other new players in the market, and all of that in one place, and that too from people who have been really passionate about sneakers. So it's very relatable.
No, absolutely. And again, if I had to put, I know I'm going more on this, but coming from a brand point of view, right? So, see, what my worry is, honestly, uh, is there a chance that Reddit could become the next Quora or Medium? Because we all know the moment SEO folks start flocking to a certain site, right? It kind of, after a point, it kind of becomes uh, the trust on that particular platform starts going down. So, do you think that could happen? Again, I know Ashwini is also there. So, Ashwini, if you have a thought on that, or Parth, you want to pick up, and then Ashwini wants to go.
Sure, if Shwini wants to go, like, he can go first.
I think on the brand side, just wanted to, I'll take you back a bit. So I think for Google, UGC earlier was, just reviews. Later, probably they realized that, they're very static in nature, just brand replying to these reviews, or let's say on GBP or maybe app reviews. Or later, they realized that community forums are a better way of, insights on certain topics. So, in that sense, if SEOs feel that we can hack that conversation, then yeah, that should happen. Because they're anyways, it's a community-based forum, right? So they're trying to, let's say, direct the conversation in a certain brand-oriented way. But then the community itself, right? It's very democratic in the nature. So they might the community itself comes to a consensus. So it's not like a brand can, even if they try to manipulate a lot, they can manipulate it. So you will have these community signals, or users who will try to reach to the equilibrium or the consensus on, let's say, each and every topic. So I don't think so. It's like, SEOs in general, they can try to direct things in a certain direction, but I'm not sure if the consensus will be reached, or the goal they're trying to reach will be achieved all the time. So I think these forums are still democratic in nature, so they should be able to provide the insight they're supposed to provide.
And it's an assumption, right? Because I could still have, say, four of my friends on the same forum upvoting my answer. Do you think? Because with SEOs, you never know, honestly.
Yeah, totally agree. I think so. Reddit is pretty popular about its strong community and the strict moderation culture. So this is what has helped Reddit kind of stay away from the Quora and Medium path. But if Google over indexes Reddit results, and now it will turn into a Reddit search by default, like the Google search engine. So that's what is going to. It's already like SEOs. who found out their way uh, will find out their way to kind of not manipulate the whole platform, but a couple of threads. So that's not in anyone's control. But all in all, like the moderation is very strict, and at this point of time, like we cannot see that it's going in the direction of core or medium.
Cool. So will AI overview kind of kill the reach of Reddit on serves? Is that something that we could see? Because again, we are presuming that AI overviews is kind of summation of all the stuff that is already there. So do you think at some point AI overviews would be much more useful? Will have all the information compared to someone going to a Reddit which is ranking first.
Oh, that's an interesting
Sorry,
point.
Parth, can I take that?
Yeah, sure, sure. Please go.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel that it depends on the user again. As a platform, Google might test this. Our views can speak for the user, or do users prefer being answered by search query? They're trying to rank some or the other subreddit. They're trying to figure out, even if it's relevant, not relevant, the discussion is valuable or not. They're doing that. They're testing that forum there. If Google, let's say users end up engaging more on forums than the AI overviews, then obviously as a platform, I'll prefer Reddit content. If let's say it ends up that AI reviews can speak the language of the user, uh, people are directly trying to conversate with the AI review itself. A lot of follow queries or questions are being answered. Then perhaps you're right. AI reviews can take over a lot of UGC behavior as well. So yeah.
So my point there was more also in terms of and by the way that was a good answer. Yeah. So my point there was coming from a fact that see we as SEO professionals always think uh, that the users, someone who's searching on Google etc., is equally smart or more smarter than us, right? And they are doing things exactly the way we probably plan for our strategies. But if I look at my father or my wife searching, it's probably extremely different than whatever we are probably discussing, right? For them, it does not really matter where the answer is coming from. They will just search for it, like the answer, and they are okay with it, whether it's an AI overview or a Reddit. So, how do you plan for that? Because that probably is the probably is 90% of the users. Only 10% we are assuming would be users like probably like us who think, okay, nay, there is some algorithm here, something happening here, right? Let me search in a different way, etc. So this is just a point of view, right? A food for thought for all of us here. Parth,
Yep. Um, it's going to affect Reddit, but only after the deal, the deal is over. Until they're like there's a clear deal, and how will Reddit get benefited? Like if uh, it doesn't receive traffic from Google, so there's a clear this thing. So yeah, I totally think so. Until there's this deal, I don't know how many years is this that particular deal, will it keep on renewing, whatever. But yeah, until that is happening, they'll specifically like keep on getting traffic.
superb. That was something good, and I think I have the last question of the day for now because uh, that's all my research says about this topic. And some one of the uh, point that I want to make it is uh, this coming more from content creators or brand point of view. How can we make our content more competitive against your Reddit content which is getting picked up by the search engine. So is there a way? One of the strategy Parth mentioned that probably you do say first 100 posts, no link, etc. But coming from a very core brand point of view, do we stand a chance at all, or you need to play a long term game?
I think so. It's a long term game, and long term game has a lot of compounded results for sure. Because Reddit as a platform, I don't think so. It's going anywhere. Um, it will keep on getting the traffic it used to get, but it's like because of this partnership, like they are getting an added advantage and like more discovery through Google. Um, but short term, I think so. It's directly short term is the kind of a business approach where you reach out to someone who is already established, you pay them, and you kind of try to manipulate in a relevant way, like not spamming it, but if that is relevant, and you pay and you'll get results in short term.
I think I'll just enable comments in my, every blog post and try to have incentivize community to just speak over there, debate, or just argue for the sake of it. Probably. I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, you gotta. I mean, as a platform, I'll try to copy a bit of Reddit. Like I have to make my blogs like what standalone content won't work. Probably follow up queries on that and answering them would work well. Something like Stack Overflow. Something I don't know. You write your piece of content, some tutorial. Yeah, obviously, your content has to be a tutorial, and then therein you engage the speaker or the author. That probably would. I mean, I don't know. In the long term, might signal some authority and get some value over Reddit. But yeah, still beating Reddit is for now. I think it's not possible.
No, absolutely. I guess back in the day when all blogs used to have comments, and then what we saw during that time was comments getting spammed because there would be some SEO guy who would say, "Okay, no, this site has very good comments coming. Let me put a link to something that I have written and let people discover it, right? Let me get the traffic from that site." So, and that's where the entire uh, usability or the utility of comments kind of came down, and then you saw a lot of sites removing comments altogether from their website because that's how people used to spam. So again, it's a very fine balance because, like I said earlier, we SEOs often uh, while we try to use certain systems, we also tend to start misusing those platforms also, right? So I guess the best way forward is to see what is happening, put some little efforts in the strategies that Path mentioned, do some post without links, then slowly put a link, and then say reduce the difference between, or rather, you put links and the number of posts that you put it kind of increases. So that could be a way forward. We have to guess it, rely on Google's algorithm until we find a different platform for us to get discovered. We have AI overviews also to handle. We have what we say the GPT engine optimization also coming up. So let us figure out some of the best way forward, and we'll talk about all of those things in our upcoming webinar. And this is scheduled for Saturday in the evening, and we have a fabulous panel, an all women panel coming from across the globe. So we'll have perspective beyond India. The entire moderation will be led by a wonderful woman called Suchi Goel. Just stay tuned to the post. The update should be out in some time. And do join in, do support the women in SEO community. We are also starting to put together a list of women within SEO in India. Glad to have Isha here. She is definitely going to be part of it, and her thoughts. We have always been impressed by whatever she has to share. So stay tuned to that update.